All right. Episode 5. We're gonna dedicate this episode to Jason Kidd, number 5. We're
And
gonna
Kwame Brown.
call me Brown.
Oh, Kwame Brown.
We're gonna take a break from the playoffs and we're gonna talk about a Warrior special. So upcoming offseason speculation, Clay Thompson returning, go through all that and
Yeah,
free. So obviously disappointing, right? Not making the playoffs.
yeah.
Steve Curry probably played the best season, I think, in his own career, but
Yeah.
still not enough.
Best, second best. It doesn't matter. I think it's just one of the best seasons he's ever had.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because you watch him and you watch how the other team like guard him. Like he has to
Mm-hmm.
do so much running around to get that one shot off.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous.
It's
So
insane. It's crazy how when you watch the game, it's just like the minute he passed half court, two players start running to him, and like a lot of times I've seen their games. It's like, oh, the minute he passed half court, he probably already preparing to jack up the shot because he's like he knows he doesn't have time, um, like because then maybe another step and then he's already getting double. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I mean, so I feel like it's this season. It just shows that that's how much more. Um, I guess what's the word to describe it? Um, I think it's like damn. I don't know what to say, but it's just crazy how people are still doubting that or
He's
questioning
lost
it.
for words. He's
No,
lost
no,
for
it's
words
true. Like
about
I mean,
Steph's season. It's just too amazing.
it is. It is. I don't know. There's no other word for it. It's just you watch him. There's no other like superstar in the league right now that is getting matched up like that. Um, like you can think about every single one of them. It's like, oh, Giannis. Okay, he get double team when he gets into the paint or whatever. LeBron, there's like game plan, but then he can do whatever he wants. I mean, you can't really stop him, like we talked about before. Who else? Dame. Yeah, Dame is like probably the closest to Steph, but the defensive, teams that play defense against Lillard is still, a little bit more softer, lighter. But then when the Steph is like, his movement, his like it's like that. It's like what they're saying, like his presence, right? Just him being on the floor, it already affect the mentality of the whole team. It's just like, oh, all right, he's here, so we'll let everybody else beat us, but not him. And I think you guys watched the last game when they were playing Memphis, and I think you guys probably can like describe it even better than me because I wasn't able to watch it. But yeah, like
I think
from what
that
you
the problem is they don't have any shooters on the court.
yeah
Right? You watched the last game, the other guy that had made shots was Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
So
Like
you can double him. Like you got think about it, you had in certain points of the season you had Wiggins, Oubre, Draymond Green, and Wiseman. Like who is that 3-point shooter that's gonna hit?
supposedly we're supposed to have like Wiggins supposed to be able to shoot, and Uber is supposed to be a floor spacer, right? But he
No.
I guess after tearing his ACL, he's just never been the same shooting wise, right?
Yeah, they're just not consistent shooters. And like
No,
I think
it,
today,
it's
like I think
it's
Draymond,
crazy.
like they said, hey, Draymond, like Steve Kerr came out and said Draymond needs to score more next season and be
Hmm.
that threat to take that pressure off. And I think Draymond responded. It's like, yeah, you'll see me score more. Like
That's good.
in
Yeah,
the offseason, his game doesn't require um like if he's not practicing like his offense, he's not doing anything else. He's not
yeah,
practicing how to pass. He's not practicing how to rebound or play defense, right? So I
yeah,
think this season he should just shoot, like keep shooting those threes.
yeah. I think all Draymond really needs to do is maintain his body, right? Keep it in like peak form, right? Right now, I think Draymond is still in really good shape. Like he's in the peak of his body, right? like being able to move the way he moves and grab rebounds and run, like his body is definitely up there. So he needs to keep that while just building on his shooting.
I think like I mean he was also in I mean he was injured right in the beginning of the season. So
I thought it was COVID.
oh, was it COVID?
Yeah,
But
it was COVID.
I just feel like yeah, we didn't really see like the top form Draymond until like the last month of the season. So I mean, yeah, I am optimistic. I do think that he could score more, but yeah, he like what Clark is saying, he does need to practice. Like he just need to shoot a lot in the off season.
Yeah.
Because I think the dynasty season, the dynasty, like their dynasty was built on him also a threat, right? Because when they do the pick and roll, and then when Steph passed the ball back to him, like when they doing that their um playing style, other teams is like kind of daring him to shoot, right? And which he makes them like at a decent rate. So, but the past couple of years is because he's not hitting them. So teams are just gonna like continue keeping everybody else defended and then let him take it, and he's missing most of the shots. So if he can make those threes more consistently, hey, is anything can happen, right? So
Yeah, he was
All
able
right,
to.
I got a question for you guys. So looking back at this season, what do you guys think was the biggest positive impact from this season?
well,
Positive impact on what?
Like just like the biggest positive impact that you guys saw from this season, like going ahead into the future.
I mean Jordan Poole. I mean he's probably after he came back from the G League, definitely looks like someone that can contribute coming off the bench. And then as much as we criticize Wiggins, I feel like he's shown a lot this year. I mean, there's only so much. I mean, he can keep practicing shooting threes, but at the end of the day, I feel like his general contribution this year was good enough. I mean, he's really good on defensive end. He's shooting a lot more efficient this year. And I feel like you see more passion from him. Like I feel like he's enjoying playing basketball more. And that's the same thing that I mentioned with you guys off the podcast regarding like even Kelly Oubre, right? Or even before Marquise Chris got injured, right? It's like I feel like with those players when they were playing in other teams, it just feels like they're just playing basketball for like as a job, you know? Like it wasn't like for fun. But when those three players specifically came to the Warriors, it just feel like they're enjoying basketball more. Like you see smile, you see like they're more communication with their teammates and stuff. I mean Marcus Chris because before he was injured, like he was actually contributing quite well. Both ends. He was great rim protector. He was contributing like decent enough offensively. And then you see Kelly Oubre, like yes, he's very inconsistent. Shooting's pretty bad this year, but like you do see him like he's putting in more effort. I think like you see more. Of course, you see more on the defensive side of things because offensively it's still Steph as the main point getter. And then for Wiggins, it's just like yeah, like he's defensively he's phenomenal this year. I would say would you guys agree he's top 10 this year defensively?
I think he deserves an all NBA team, maybe like third team defensively.
Yeah. And then offensively,
what do you think, Clark?
Yeah, sorry, Clark, go ahead.
Maybe 13. Maybe
13.
I think he deserves it. I think he really did. And I think he earns a lot of respect from the league as well. I think all the games that I watched, the commentator always mentioned how Wiggins have improved so much defensively. Offensively, he's contributing. He's more aggressive. Still take a little bit too much threes, but at the same time, he kind of needs to take them to open up the space for everybody else. But yeah, like I think those are probably like the positives for Warriors this year. Yeah.
What do you think, Clark?
I think the biggest piece is these other role players. They've they found their role.
Mhm.
It's like last season, like we didn't see much. It was just a mess, right?
Yeah.
With injuries. Everyone's trying to be that all-star or be that person. But this season you could see like Steph coming in and Draymond playing like, hey, you guys aren't that 1, 2, or 3. You're not gonna be. So
Mhm.
find your role. So like Mike was saying, Jordan Poole, like that guy's gonna be a sixth man. Like it's clear
Yeah.
now, right?
Yeah.
He can be that Jordan Clarkson type player.
Mhm.
JTA, like he found his role,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's a huge positive in signing him to a contract. He's kind of like, he's that, that Swiss Army knife player. He can do a little bit
Yeah.
of everything, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like the Sean Livingston, the Andre Iguodala that they were missing.
Mhm.
Like Wiggins, yeah, it's kind of like what you expected offensively, but defensively he's been a little bit better. Durable for sure. The only game he missed was the last game of the season when they benched him. They sat everybody out because it was meaningless.
Yeah.
Kelly Oubre, I don't think he's coming back. Like he's getting paid 15 million.
Mhm.
He's an unrestricted free agent.
Mhm.
And they made it really clear that if he does come back, he's coming off the bench. I don't think
Yeah.
he's going to choose to do that. Who's disappointing is Eric Pascal.
He had a lot of injuries.
That was something that I was gonna ask you guys about in the next question. We can say that for the
we'll
next question.
we'll save it for later then.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So for me,
And
it's
then,
like these role players, they found their role, right?
Yeah.
So they know next season what to expect.
yeah.
And I think they learn the system better because there are like times in the games when Curry's not on and the bench players come in and they play the Warriors way, right? They play defense, they get out and they score it, and they play like Warriors basketball. Like that was nice to see because it didn't exist last season.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, to add on, I definitely agree with you guys. And to add on to that, I think just seeing that Steph can play at this high level still at this age, because I think a lot of people doubted him. And like even some fans, like we know that he's going to be good. We don't know how well Steph can hold up for a whole season. Watching him play basically what he's played around 60 games this season.
Yeah, he would say I'd probably say 3/4, right? 3/4.
Yeah,
of
like
game.
60 games this season, and he's been like at a pretty high usage rate, and he's giving us this type of output. I feel like it makes us feel really comfortable as Warriors fans to like feel about the future, right? The next couple of years at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then my next question for you guys is, what's the biggest missed opportunity this season? So I think Clark, you can start with talking about Eric Pascal.
Yeah, that last year he was like that shining light, right? The guy that can score, young, explosive. But I think this year you see like his basketball IQ didn't increase with the season of play. I felt like it decreased. When he comes on the floor, you know what he's gonna do, and he's not passing. Like he's not gonna pass you the ball. He's gonna go in there and just take shots. And I don't know if he has a green light or what, but defense is not great. No playmaking. He's gonna come in and just try to score. I don't know if that's what they need.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one big missed opportunity, that like they just didn't develop him. Like either that he kept getting injured, and then at the end of the season, like when he's healthy, the Warriors just don't think it's worth it anymore. They don't think it's worth it to throw him on when they need to win these games to try to get into the playoffs, right? They don't want to risk these minutes, right? They rather just keep Draymond on. They rather play JTA. They rather play Looney, right?
Because he doesn't play defense. Like his
Yeah.
defense is terrible, so you can't play him. So I'm not sure if he fits that Warrior system.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they package him and trade him.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Mike? What do you think is like?
Yeah, I feel like Pascal was definitely a missed opportunity, of course. I don't blame him as much. I mean, he did get injured, and then with the COVID thing, like pretty much he just can't stay healthy, right? Just
Yeah.
like what even when you come even when you get like recover from COVID, then you try to build up your body strength. It just doesn't come back right away, right? So
Hmm.
I guess I agree with you when you say like towards the end, even when he was healthy, it just doesn't make sense to put him out there because then you don't know if he's able to like gel with with the teammates,
Hmm.
and you don't know if he can hold up, right? Because like you don't know how the body's gonna react when he plays. Like even if it feels like oh just 10 minutes, you don't know what it feels like for his body, right? So I guess it's totally fair that yeah, Steve Kerr probably just told him like yeah, like Eric just stay on the bench, just don't like we won't like push you out there to try to get you to like contribute because of like the complication with that.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like I feel like other players, um, Bazemore, Damian Lee, um, we talked about this as well, but it just feels like sometimes they get too they get too ahead of themselves. It feels like they are like like for Bazemore especially, he's supposed to be a veteran player. He's been in the league for long enough, but it feels like sometimes he still acts like he's a new player. Like he's like a player that's just been in the league for a couple of years. Feels like he gets really like out of control when he's in game,
Hmm.
um, making some bad decision in game, costing the team. Um, I feel like he gets too many minutes, but at the same time, I feel like it was necessary with
Hmm.
like the injuries and like with the players that they don't have because I would say like Kelly Oubre would have got more minutes. Um, if Wiseman was there, I feel like Wiseman would have got more minutes as well. But because with all these injuries, you have to rely on Bazemore, and then Damian Lee. I mean, this is just my perspective. Just feel like he probably have that family treatment. Just be like just with like the relationship that he have with Steph.
Hmm.
Um, he's a decent player. Like don't get me wrong. Like he can contribute in an NBA team, but it just feels like he's super inconsistent, and he probably didn't deserve some of the minutes that he gets. I was looking some stats. He was like averaging like almost like 20 minutes a game. Um, let's be honest, if he was in another team, I don't think he's averaging more than maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But he's playing in the Warriors, so he gets 20 minutes. But I just don't feel like his minutes could be given to other players if there was players available.
Hmm.
Um,
Who would you give it to?
oh, like I said,
I
if it wasn't for injury wise, I would say like other players would have got them.
Yeah,
Wiseman would have got.
I feel like outside of Pascal, like Kelly Oubre and Wiseman would be the Warriors' biggest missed opportunity because I feel like these two players are supposed to be like they're supposed to be people who are big contributors to the team, right?
Like
And be it injuries, be it whatever, like I guess Kelly Oubre would be his injuries. He broke his wrist like what twice,
yeah.
and James Wiseman would just be the lack of development. Like the team missed this opportunity with this season to really develop them.
No, like I feel like their rotation, like in best case scenario, this season would have been like Wiseman, and then you get Draymond, you have Uber, you have Wiggins, and then you have Steph, right? And pretty much Wiseman would be like averaging around like 25 minutes, and then you have Draymond would be like 30, and then Steph with his normal 33, 34, and then Wiggins 30, 31, 32, and then Kelly Oubre was like 35. So and then the like your other rotation players would be like Pascal if he wasn't injured, and then Kevon Looney, and then JTA wasn't even there yet, so you wouldn't even put him. He wouldn't even be in the rotation. And then
Mm-hmm.
Damian Lee and like Bazemore would be like instead of the 20 minutes that they're playing, they would be playing like 10 minutes, like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But with all the injuries, like you don't have Wiseman playing the 25 minutes because he was super inconsistent, and then you have all the injuries with like your expected rotation. and you ended up, in Basemore's minute, Damian Lee's minute, all got inflated. So the roster that you're putting out every single day, every game, um, other than Steph and Wiggins and Draymond, um, you don't know what you're getting every single game, other than those three.
Yeah, like
So
filler
every game,
minutes.
every game is just like, oh, I'm just gonna roll a dice and see, oh, today, oh, Damon Lee might hit might give me 15 points, but then next game he give me 5 points, and then baseball will give me like 17 this game, and then next game he give me a 0. So I'm just like, so it's just like very hard for them to kind of like have a game plan to like, oh, wait, who can we trust other than the three,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't agree with that because that starting five lineup, like they couldn't score, right? You have Oubre and Wiseman in there with those guys. It's like they couldn't score at all,
Mhm.
right? So you can't play that lineup. That was the
But
problem at the beginning
Clark,
of the season.
Clark. Oh, this is a discussion that me and Alex had are between ourselves. But it was like, if you were a fan, are you saying that you feel like other players could have contributed more?
Yeah,
Like with barring injuries though, like if they
yeah.
were like if they okay, if you give them those games to gel to get the chemistry going, are you saying that you're still taking Dame
I'm
Lee
taking
and baseball?
JTA over Kelly Oubre.
No, but GTA wouldn't have happened if there wasn't any injuries though.
What do you
Like
mean?
we have to think about that.
He was a
Because
two-way contract at the beginning of the season. He was on the
no,
team.
but
Yeah, but
he wouldn't get to play. That's what I'm saying. Like if there wasn't any injuries, JDA development wouldn't have happened. Jordan Poole wouldn't have came off the bench and start contributing like what he's doing right now. Like, because then you would have those players, and then that starting five, given
It's
that
terrible.
time to build the chemistry, I don't see I don't see that poor performance that they had in the beginning season would have continued. But
Okay. Okay. This one's for you, Clark. You can start with this answering this question because I feel like you can have a pretty interesting answer for us. So what is the Warriors' number one priority heading into the off season in order for them to be successful the next season?
Uh,
Like,
in
do you
terms of
think they should pull some
oh,
trades,
okay.
or what do you think they should do?
Well, they need like two veterans. I think. I
Okay.
think I think Uber is gone. Like you can't like he doesn't fit into the system. He's essentially JTA. Like JTA is a little bit better defensively, I think, and all around.
Okay.
But
Okay.
as sad that is sounds, and I like Uber. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
super hype about him, like joining, but like IQ wise, like not the best fit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wiseman needs to heal up, and he needs to really look at his game. Like if you look at his high school games, like that's all we have to look at. Like he was dominant in the paint, but now he's like shooting threes. He's like trying to be a point guard. Like it doesn't
It's a
make sense.
little.
This is NBA.
This is high school basketball, and we're
Yeah,
talking about the NBA.
yeah. So like stick to what he's good at, which is his size. Like he has size. It's undeniable. He's got to use that.
Yeah.
And they need shooters. Like they need shoot. They remember. Okay, like remember there was a point of season we had Brad Wanamaker as the backup point guard, right?
No,
Like that was,
I completely wiped that guy out of my mind. Like I don't care about
and
Wanaburger.
you have Michael Mulder like on
He's still
playing
playing.
meaningful minutes at the end of the season, like trying to get into the playoff. Like he was playing. You know why? Because he could shoot, right? And the other guys couldn't. So you need a big, and you need a shooter. I think those are the big things. Like you need like vets, and if they get that the Timberwolves pick, it'd be really interesting, like what they do with it.
Would you trade the pick?
I don't know. I don't know too much about the rookies coming out this year because of the NCAA. Like I didn't follow it very closely, so I don't know if there's like a fit or someone who can help them immediately. And this is like it's not going to be top three, right? So it's like 4, 5, 6
Yeah.
in that
4,
range.
5, 6, 7.
Yeah. So
I think apparently the best odds for Minnesota right now is getting the 7th pick. So the Warriors are gonna get the 7th pick, most likely.
Yeah. So like, who do you get for that? And if there's someone available, I'd rather trade. You know who'd be interesting? And you might be able to get this guy for cheap. Is Lauri Markkanen, a big that can shoot, right? That would open up a lot of things for them. Like that's somebody like I would target it. I'll trade number 7 for him. Like he's labeled as a bust with the Bulls right now, but man, that he just needs a fresh start.
Okay. Anything from you, Mike?
I agree with it. I don't think I don't think they can keep Oubre, even though he said he want to stay. They just can't afford him. I agree with that too. I mean, I've been saying that all along too. I feel like they would make a trade. If they get the draft pick, they would trade it for sure. I feel like even though they don't admit it, I feel like the off season plan for them, if Wiseman didn't get injured, would be they would try to do something and package him. To be honest,
Really?
They can still package him right now.
no, but he's injured right now, so the value is not that high, right? But I mean, if he had
I would say that the value is about the same, even if he's injured.
His meniscus is not a career-threatening injury, right?
No,
Russell Westbrook's had it like 6 times. He gets it every season.
But I feel like they would have packaged him if he wasn't like I would feel like he would package him with the draft pick if they get it, probably another player for like a superstar.
It doesn't work. Like you have to match salaries, Mike.
But I know. But I mean, they probably would try to do something like that.
Yeah, the only player you can throw away right now, packaged with the pick, is Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah,
if you want another star,
I feel like that's the move that they need to do. If they like to be honest, I don't know if I'm being too extreme, but like if they want to compete for championship next season right away, they need a superstar. And then the only way they can get a superstar is by trading Wiggins. And they probably need to have Wiseman in there and then the draft pick. And then they can get a superstar.
Who would that superstar be?
Like a wing. I think they would need an extra, like they would need to trade for like a small forward or a really big guard that can play the forward or power forward position.
So I've been saying, I mean, you guys know this. I always wanted to say, I always said, like kind of jokingly, but also seriously, like Bradley Beal would be perfect for them. But since they made the playoff, I don't feel like he will leave now. If the Wizards didn't make the playoff, then yeah, there might be more incentive for him to leave. But since they made the playoff, then now he probably doesn't need to leave as much because there is like kind of that, they do have like potential now. Yeah, I can't think of someone on top right away right now that like a superstar that they can get or go for. Do you guys have anybody?
I don't like the Bradley Beal. I don't like it. You think about you give away Wiggins and Wiseman for Beal. Beal doesn't play defense. Clay's defense is not going to be like what we've remembered, right? And then you have your only big left is Kevon Looney, and like is Jordan Bell on a 2-way now? Like is he coming back? Like those are your only 2 bigs in pass.
We can still sign free agent like bigs, right?
But then I think the point is if Warriors are serious about competing for championship, then they need a superstar. They're not making I don't think they're getting into they're not winning the titles with like uncertainty with Clay and all that stuff. Like they need a superstar. They need someone that
Wiggins at the 3 is gonna be our answer, Clark. Like for us to compete, Wiggins at the 3, like
he just needs to play defense and score like say 15 points.
Right.
And then
so you think Wiseman can be the answer?
Yeah, you gotta bank on that, I think. Maybe not. I'm thinking like maybe not this next coming season. But maybe his 3rd season, like a year after.
but
But
then
that's
Steph will be
another. That's a that
35.
that will be another season
I
on
know, I know.
into Steph's career, right?
Yeah, but you
I
look at
think
like
the
Chris
biggest
Paul.
problem. Well, I mean, yeah, okay. I'm not too worried about Steph. I am really worried about Draymond.
Yeah.
Like
I could see
I
that.
think if anything, like Steph can keep up with whatever like condition he's in
Yeah,
right now, right?
he'll be
But
fine.
Draymond, ooh, you give him 2 more years, I think he's gonna decline a lot.
How
For
old is
someone
Draymond right now? Sorry.
30,
So he's younger than Steph.
Yeah, he's younger
he's
than Steph.
younger than Steph, but he plays a different position, right? He takes
Okay.
a lot more contact and
Uh, okay.
all of that, right?
If Draymond Green like keep up his physique and like don't go and don't get injured. Well, I think the most important thing for Draymond is he don't get injured, because the minute he get injured, he can't play. Then it's gonna be hard for him to keep his physique, right? And because I remember he was saying that, yeah, when he first got injured and then he came back, we all were saying like, oh, he looked like kind of out of shape, right? So it took him a long time to get back in shape. I think that's the part for him. Like he's gonna be fine defensively. Like he's still like above average, like very good. But then just offensively, he just doesn't have like the speed, doesn't have the power, doesn't have the leap to like be explosive, right? So I think the main thing for Draymond for like the next 2 to 3 seasons is like he needs to stay healthy, and then like you guys said, like we talked about, like he needs to get his shot, get his percentage up, right? But like what I was saying, like they need a superstar, like what you just said, right? You can't you if you have Wiggins on in as a third, as a small forward, it's kind of like very like Mia, right? You don't know if he can do it. So you either package him and get someone better, or you have to rely on Steph and hoping that Clay goes gets back to like 90%, 95%. And
Um,
they already said that he probably won't even able to start the season. So I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Because
All
there's no
right.
timetable for Clay Thompson, right? There's no timetable for him.
Yeah. Well, that I guess like my last question is like, would you guys think there's a possibility that the Warriors package Draymond in the deal, send him off?
Like this season, like next season?
Yeah. Well, sorry. Like, I was looking at it. He's by the end of next season, he's going to be 32.
I don't think they'll package him this off season. I think they owe it to him to let the three of them play again. Like especially with the way he played this season.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they package him, you're gonna burn some bridges with their fans because I don't think that's the right move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Maybe like a good basketball decision, but definitely not from a team's perspective.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
definitely more leaning towards trading Wiggins.
Yeah, like the fans are not invested in Wiggins, not yet.
I think there's a lot of fans who just hate on Wiggins right now.
That's because of his salary, right?
He's the
If he
biggest
got
asset
paid,
they have right now.
if he got paid half of his salary, he would be like, man, A plus,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's the biggest chip they have, other than Wiseman and the draft pick that Minnesota have. So if you want to get an upgrade, then yeah, you have to trade him. Even though personally, I feel like he deserved to stay in the Warriors, but if they want
Mm-hmm.
championship, then you can't keep him. Yeah, because it really is so many uncertainties, right? It really depends on Klay Thompson right now, right? Because if you have if next season Klay Thompson is like KD coming back this year, then yeah, then we don't have to worry about Wiggins, because yeah, like Clark said, Wiggins can just be the third scorer, and you have Steph coming dropping 30, and then you have Klay dropping 25, and then Wiggins contribute like 20, and then you have Draymond, and then you have like Jordan Poole. Then yeah, and then Wiseman comes in like slowly going back in for like 15 points, and yeah, we'll be fine.
I'm
But
not
then,
too hopeful on that, honestly, because
right, it's hard, right?
like
You can't wait for one person, right?
yeah, like Clay doesn't have the same timetable as KD. KD had 18 months off, right? If Clay takes 18 months off, he'll be back by postseason next season. If he takes 12 months off, then he'll start at the beginning of the season, right? So it'll be around October, November, come back, 2021, right? If he takes 18 months or 16 months, 18 months, like KD, like he's not playing next season. The only reason why I think John Wall and KD come back so nicely from that Achilles injury is because they had all this time off from the game.
I mean,
Right.
Clay, I don't know. Like based on, I don't know if you guys saw like his like those clips that Warriors put out on like Twitter and stuff, right? Does he look like he's really far away though? Like
Yeah, he hasn't been cleared to run yet.
is it he's
Yeah,
not clear to run?
he's not even
No,
cleared to run.
he
Like,
made a commercial of him doing a jump shot. I don't think that was him. Like I think the motion of shooting is him from the back.
Yeah.
But then they had to cut out the jump, and you see someone jump. I'm pretty sure they did that for a reason.
No, but didn't he? But didn't he do those like pre-game like shooting though?
yeah, he just took
he
his
wasn't
boots off.
jumping.
He
wasn't
jumping.
not even
Wasn't jumping?
cleared. No,
Oh.
he's far away.
Okay,
Well,
I was
okay, I
looking
feel
at
like-
the free agents. There's Kawhi Leonard. What do you think? Do you think they have a chance at Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, if Luka Doncic bounces them round one, they definitely.
They're getting bounced.
But do they have
They're
salary,
getting
though?
bounced. There's no
but
way
do
they're
they
not
have
getting
salary
bounced.
though? Like, do they have payrolls?
Yeah,
Payrolls?
you send Wiggins and Wiseman. That's your salary.
Also, it's
Yeah.
sign and trade then, right?
Yeah, you just sign Trey. See if Kawhi takes a bit of a discount. That's your salary right there.
Signing, I think they can definitely try to snatch Kawhi.
So
There's
Kawhi and
Kawhi,
Zubac for
and then
Wiggins
there's
and
DeRozan.
Wiseman.
DeRozan?
The next big name will be DeRozan.
I like
Man.
DeRozan, but damn, he choked, man. He choked
Hey,
against man.
hey, DeRozan is literally Andrew Wiggins. Same game without the
He's a
defense.
little bit better than Andrew
Yeah,
Wiggins.
yeah,
He can play make better. He can score better.
yeah, but less defense. So
Less
DeRozan
defense.
is what Andrew Wiggins' potential is.
Yeah. All right.
Uh,
I think that takes us to the end of the episode.
All right.
All right. That's
Thanks,
episode
guys.
5 in the books. Thank you.
thank you.
Great.